Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 27 of the Carrie Rolled On Show, where we spend 30 minutes or so a week having conversations that matter to the entrepreneur's body, mind, and business. And I'm your host, Carrie Rolled On. I'm a wife, a mother, a runner, a best-selling author, a personal growth junkie, a product launch Wonder Woman, and your total business BFF, which, if you don't know, stands for Best Friends Forever. And I help entrepreneurs to find their business mojo. I help you guys to find your niche, create an offer that truly serves that niche, and launch it authentically, launch it online authentically and profitably. And we make it fast and fun and easy to add more value to what you're already doing, as well as to create multiple streams of income to your current business model. So if this sounds like something you needed like yesterday, then let's chat. You can set up a complimentary strategy session with me at carrierolledon.com/strategy session. And you see that right there in your lower third. So again, if it feels like something you need, take advantage. All right, so here's the reason I created the Carrie Rolled On Show, is because I have stumbled, and I continue to, on my entrepreneurial journey, because the road to success thus far has been full of potholes, detours, and dead ends, not to mention self-doubt, fear, worry, debt, marital tension, and personal struggle. And I wanted to share what I continue to learn on my journey in the hopes that I could help you guys too. Remember, I'm your business BFF. I'm looking out for you. Here's what I figured about the show. I figured, listen, if this is something that I'm struggling with, I'm going to call in an expert. I'm going to call in somebody who helps people with this. I'm going to bring them on my show. They're going to help me, and they're probably going to help you too. So that was the whole intention behind starting this show. And I love where it is, I love where it's going, and I love knowing that it is helping you guys. So if that is the case, if you've had, you know, an epiphany or anything because of the show, or if it's just, I hear all the time people say, you know what, thanks for your show, it just gives me that midweek boost that I need. Let us know in the comments section. And on that note, if you're here live with us, also say hello in the comments. I'll be checking those in just a minute. But here's the thing, you guys. Online entrepreneurhood can be a really lonely place. And I'm on a mission to help us connect. So today's topic is good vibrations, the truth about the law of attraction and what it means for your bottom line. So let's just get this out in the open. There are a lot of people in business who talk about the importance of a positive attitude. And I don't mean to be dismissive about it, but I had a really positive attitude for a really long time. And I was not attracting what I wanted. I watched and I read The Secret and plenty of other law of attraction based books. And I really didn't make a whole lot of progress in creating the life and the business that I desired. I was still totally fraught with anxiety. I was overwhelmed. I was working way too hard in a business that wasn't even paying me. I was spending so much time making practically no money. And my marriage was suffering too, partly because of this. I felt completely unappreciated and totally distant from my husband. I write about this at length in Run Yourself Happy, but needless to say, despite my every effort to look on the bright side and to keep my chin up, I felt like I was drowning in the beige mediocrity of my completely ordinary middle-class suburban life. And while I knew that I should be grateful for my stay-at-home mom status, I felt really oppressed by it. I just wanted to have a successful business. I wanted to make a positive impact, and I wanted to make money doing it, and I was struggling a lot to make that happen until I made the shift. And the weird thing about this shift is that it was so gradual that I really only noticed it in hindsight. You see, I understood, like up here, I understood the law of attraction intellectually. I believed in it scientifically, but I had to integrate what I knew into who I was. I had to take my intellectual understanding and turn it into an integrated realization. And much of which I did, and I continue to do, is outlined in Run Yourself Happy. That's my best-selling book. You can find it on Amazon. But shortly after I wrote it, I came across the work of Alexandria Barker, who is my guest today. So excited about this, you guys. Alexandria is the author of a couple of books, one called Relief Beyond Belief, and another, Wishful Thanking, 7 Steps to Simple Abundance. And it was wishful thanking that really made the difference for me. Alexandria is also a professional life coach and law of attraction coach. She's a certified Reiki master and teacher, and one of my very first business BFFs. So I'm so excited to have her on the Carrie Roldan Show this week, as we're going to discuss what it really takes to make that shift, and hopefully it won't take as long for you guys, and how it really does affect our bottom lines. We've got some amazing stuff for you. It's so weird. I was hearing something in the background. Yep, I'm still hearing it. So Alexandria.
Is it a train? It sounds like a train.
Yes.
My window was open and the train went by.
All right, just go ahead and hit that mute button on top. And I will get to you in just one second. So you guys, we've got some great stuff for you in your business, and I sincerely hope that you guys will be with us the entire 30 minutes that we're together today, that you will leave your comments and engage in the conversation and offer your own wisdoms, insights, questions, and experiences. So let's do it. Let's get this party started. I cannot wait. I seriously cannot wait to bring Alexandria onto the screen and show you her beautiful smiling face and ask her my first question, because I asked her in the green room. I felt kind of silly, but I didn't know. So Alexandria, I'm going to put your face on the screen. Go ahead and unmute yourself and say hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you today.
Well, and we're glad you're here. So tell us where in the world you are.
I'm not too far from Toronto, Canada. I'm about an hour and a half west of Toronto. So that's probably what everyone would recognize more than anything else about Ontario. Sort of between Toronto and Kingston.
Well, I just wanted to point out that you have some beautiful light there this morning. So it must be, well, it's not morning for you, it's afternoon, but it must be a pretty day there.
It is. There's some blue skies, and there's lots of beautiful daffodils coming up, and so I grabbed some for this show, but it's nice to see them all bursting through, and yeah, finally, because we've had a lot of rain, so it's nice to have some sunshine.
So my first question for you is something that I asked you in the green room, because, and we are going to be talking about law of attraction here today and how it can affect our bottom lines, but I didn't know, I've heard so much about Reiki, and there are so many people who I know that are massage therapists and Reiki healers, and I thought, you know, I'm not exactly even 100% sure what this is. And so I asked you what it was, and I think it will lead beautifully into what we need to talk about today. So tell us, for those other people like me who just don't have a clue, what does it mean to be a Reiki master?
Oh, well, it means that I have attained a level in Reiki where I can teach other people how to do it. I've been a Reiki master for over 10 years, and in that time I've trained many people in the art of Reiki. Reiki is energy healing, and it has a few things that set it apart from other traditional forms of healing. It's about thousands and thousands of years old. They say it is a form of healing that the Buddha used and that Jesus used, so it's nothing new. But it's like it's tapping into a specific form of universal energy, tapping into that ray, channeling it through yourself and into the person, that whoever you're working on, whoever you're giving Reiki to. And so you're kind of becoming like an extension cord, is how I explain it to my new people. That kind of keeps the ego out of the whole thing. You're kind of plugging into one source and you're plugging into, you know, who you want to transmit it to. So Reiki is wonderful for relieving stress, for relieving pain. It clears blockages as it flows through your body. It will clear out and remove toxins. So it's very important to drink more water after, you know, so it keeps flowing out instead of just, you know, getting reabsorbed in your body. But it's wonderful because it keeps those chakras free flowing so that you can experience, these abundance and all the wonderful things that we are intended to have to experience. You can experience it on all levels. And another beautiful thing about Reiki is it doesn't take away from you. You're not using your energy. So it's not going to make you tired or anything. In fact, every time you give a treatment, you also receive a treatment at the same time. So, and it's something that you can do because of the beauty of quantum physics, which is now science is actually proving now that we are all interconnected through quantum physics. We know that, the molecules entrain to each other. You can give Reiki to someone who's, the other end of the country, another country, or just in the other room. Like, there's no limits to it that way. And it helps on mental, physical, and emotional levels. It's really wonderful. You can, once you're tuned to it, you don't have to kind of call on it. It's always there. So it changes your energy. It raises your energy, which is wonderful from the law of attraction perspective. Because as we know, we attract that which we're, when we match energetically. So by raising your vibration, you're matching up with a higher caliber of people and situations and that sort of thing. So it's wonderful that way too. It's just, I always feel like it's just something that every mother should have, because it's like your little one falls down, gets a bobo. In my case, it's my little grandkids now, but you can give them that Reiki right away. And it's, you already have that loving, comforting touch, but when you have Reiki and you add that to your toolbox, and you have that healing touch as well. And it changes you, and it becomes there's a way of life. It just makes you more appreciative. It makes you gentler. I think it just, I could go on and on and on. We could talk the whole half hour about how wonderful Reiki is, because it really is a wonderful form of healing, and it goes well with it. It's there's no doctrine. It's not affiliated with a particular religion. And it also goes along with whatever medication people might be taking. It's not going to compromise, if they're on some sort of, heart medicine, it's not going to compromise that at all. So it's a beautiful form of therapy. I also use it in conjunction with crystal therapy, and it's great for that. I work with chakras as well, but mostly I love teaching people, because it's like teaching someone to fish or giving them a fish, right? It's like I love to do treatments, but I also love to train them so that they can just carry on and give a treatment to themselves every day of their lives.
So let's so I wanted to give that background, because it's a funny thing has happened on the Carrie Roldan show recently, which many of you who watch weekly, which I see Barbara is here live, so hi Barbara. I know there are so many of you this week who said, oh, I'll have to catch you on replay, and I think that is stinking hilarious, because normally I give barely any notice for the show, and this week I actually had my act together, and almost all the regulars said, catch you on replay, Carrie. So whether you're watching live or on replay, hi everybody to all our regulars. But what you guys may have noticed recently is that what I do with my show, my intention behind the show, and a lot of you have heard me say this, is just really to, I connect with a lot of people. I'm a natural connector, and when I find something is interesting, or I know that it will serve me in my business, I want to share it, because I also know it will probably serve you in your business. And when I took a look at who I had booked for the past few weeks and the next few weeks, I was kind of blown away that it was all about the energy in your business. So I know many of you have seen the series that I do with Cynthia Carrere about the chakras, and then I had Rachel Archelaus doing intuitive drawing, and here I have Alexandria Barker, who is a Reiki master and also teaching us about the law of attraction. And I thought, there's something here for me, and there's also something here for you guys. So I just wanted to point that out so that you guys could see the whole picture, that for some reason I keep calling in like energy healers into this show that is primarily about helping entrepreneurs in our business. So let's move to the law of attraction, Alexandria. And for anybody watching who actually doesn't know what the law of attraction is, can you give us like the most simplistic, a sentence or two about what the law of attraction is?
Well, I would say it's the most powerful law in the universe, the one that holds universes and galaxies together. And basically, the most simple definition is that law of attraction states that things of similar vibration attract to one another. So, and we are all vibrational beings living in a vibrational world. You know, we're like in this big vibrational bubble, and our thoughts and emotions are vibrational also, and they radiate out from us, and they match up, you know, with other things of a similar vibration. So not necessarily the same, but of a similar quality. So in other words, if you're having a kind of a bad day and you're mad at the world, chances are you're going to have, and maybe you're really, really mad. Maybe you've been holding this mood for a few days, so you got some momentum going. So I would say that would match you up. Sorry, excuse me, just getting over a cold. Sorry, I apologize. But that would match you up with things like slow traffic, cranky sales clerks, cranky bosses, husbands, kids, you know, and depending on the degree that you've been and how long you've been wallowing in this mood, it could be all kinds of things. It could be a more serious accident. It could be a very big blowout with a loved one. It could be, you know, because whatever we're thinking about, whatever we're focusing on, we're getting more of that. And then it kind of can become a self-perpetuating thing, because then as we're observing what's happening in our lives, we're going, oh, it's really going to crap here. You know, what's going on? And you're focusing on it, and you're trying to get to the bottom of it, and there's no bottom of it. You just, the more you're focused on it, the more and more and more, and the bigger and bigger and bigger it gets.
Okay.
But luckily, the opposite is true as well.
Well, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate for you, because I feel like that what you just said is the, how do I say this? When I opened up the show, I talked about how I was like, I understood that. I got that really clearly. Understood quantum physics. I understood that we live in a vibrational universe, and I became determined, right, to become a deliberate creator. So I became determined to focus my thoughts on what I wanted, and manifest those things quickly. And while my faith like actually didn't waver all that much, the time that it took me, I will say that a lot of the things that I started out to manifest years and years ago still haven't come. And because there was something missing in what I was doing, and I know you know what was missing. So can you speak to that? Because I think there's so many of us going, okay, I'm only going to think positive thoughts. And so many of us in business, right, it's about money or clients. And so I felt like I'm thinking the thoughts over and over again. I'm doing the gosh darn affirmations. Where's the money? Where are the clients? Can you speak to that?
I would say it's the missing ingredient would be the feeling. So it's one thing, and are you getting an echo? I'm getting an echo here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll put in my earbuds while you're talking. I'll mute myself. So
okay.
Go for it.
So, I mean, it's one thing you can say your affirmations till the cows come home, but if you aren't generating that feeling that goes along with it, nothing is going to change in your world. You're going to stay in the same vibrational tone. We all have our vibrational set point. So you want to steadily increase that by focusing on positive. That's great, but you don't want this attitude of gratitude to just become a platitude. You know, you want to really embrace the feelings. So it's anything. It's taking the time to, you know, not just get your kids out the door on time, but to really like, oh, you know, I'm so blessed to have these bright little beings in my life, you know, and to spend a moment celebrating that, or not just feed the dog and let it out, or the cat, you know, is to take a moment and cherish them and feel the feelings, feel the love. Love and appreciation are the highest forms of vibration. And when we are feeling those, we are on a par with all these wonderful things we want to create in our lives. So it's not about law of attraction, it's about, you know, really habituating these thoughts and emotions. And I'm a huge follower of Abraham Hicks, as I know you are as well. And they often say, like, you think you're talking about a subject, like you pick up a stick and there's the having of it and the not having of it are on the same stick. So if you're picking up, if you're going, I want more money, I want more money, I want more money, you're really vibrating that end of the stick, not that, oh, I have so much abundance in my life. So I really encourage people to look for not just the money, but the abundance in all the other areas that are so more valuable, like your health and your relationships. And I mean, you can look at people who have lots of money and you have poor health or poor relationships, and They aren't very happy. And the reason we want everything that we want is because we think we're going to like the way we're going to feel when we have it. Basically, we all want to be happy. You know, that's what it boils down to. So you can take a little shortcut and get yourself there. You can go for a walk along the beach and daydream because your brain can't tell the difference between something we've already experienced or something we're imagining. So the more you can put yourself into that through your affirmations and visualization, put yourself into that feeling place, that's where the magic is. It's not just what's going on in your head. It's the feeling. And, you know, if you've heard about heart math, or I don't know if you've had anybody on your show to talk about that kind of thing, that it radiates, your heart radiates electromagnetically so much more than your brain does. That's where it's all going on. It's not up here. Just like if you're to say to someone, you know, when they say, I am so-and-so, they go, I am. They tap to their heart. They don't go, I am so-and-so. Nobody does that. They all, you know, go right there because we know instinctively. And so, yeah, so I'd say that's the missing ingredient is the feeling and the emotion.
Well, and so I think that you bring an interesting point, and I'm going to belabor it a little bit because I think it's so, so, so important, and it took me so long to figure it out, is because I'm an achiever, and gosh darn it, I was determined, and because of my intellectual understanding and because of my just like fervent belief that, okay, this is how the universe works, and that if I just think it hard enough, it will come. You're right. I was on the wrong end of the stick, as you say, in that I was thinking about clients and money, or, you know, anything particular that I wanted, and even though I was saying the words, which I thought were the vibration of having it, I was saying them from an internal place of not having it.
Right, exactly.
And oftentimes from a place of desperation, like from a place of, oh, dear God, I need it. And so then I was, of course, finding more circumstances that would reinforce that place of desperation. And so I talk about how the shift happened gradually for me, and I think it's so important. And this is, I don't know, if I would have seen this show a few years ago, I'm not sure if I would have bought it. But it is this, that what you talked about in appreciating my dog, right? And in just taking a moment, like to savor the moment with my children, to be folding laundry and just to be grateful for the 1,000 pairs of underwear and for these, you know, little socks that I can't seem to ever find the other one too. That if I could spend time appreciating those moments, that just doing that was actually bringing to me the other things that I wanted. Can you explain how that works?
Absolutely, and I'm going to draw on all my years and years and years of listening to Abraham on this one too, because they explained it quite nicely. And when they said that if your grandmother taught you to look for the silver lining and to appreciate, then you got everything you need. Because really what they are always coming back to saying, if you can just get happy, like pet your cat, go for a walk, have a bubble bath, like get happy. And I know that can be a challenge for people because we're always looking for what we don't have. And that sets up resistance. You know, it creates all kinds of problems. But if you can just kind of let that go. And this is what I teach people actually in the wishful thanking, because I was like you, Carrie. I mean, I got the understanding of it. I heard about it and kind of, well, that'd be so awesome. But a good chunk of you, because we're not conditioned to believe that life should be easy or fun, you know, we're taught from a time where yay high that it's a struggle and you can't get what you want and life's not fair, and you know, you hear this stuff. You hear people in our beautiful country, like I'm in Canada, free country, you know, we have so much to be grateful for just to live here, and yet we got people that, you know, are happier in the third world, you know, where they have basically nothing, but, you know, so it's like you got all these advantages, savor them, look at what's working in your life, and that's the thing, and that's another abism, you know, is to look at what's working, not what's not. Like just turn your attention away from the problem and focus on celebrating what's good, and you'll get more of that. And it's really true, and like for me also, it's taken years because it went from like being a really cool idea to, well, maybe I'll try this out, to, you know, like by the time it reaches belief, that several years span that time. So that's why I created my wishful thinking program for myself, because I knew I had to habituate this way of thinking. And let's face it, we are, among the few. We are, as Abraham says, the leading edge. And there's a whole lot of other people who will tell you you're absolutely out of your mind. You might live with them. I do.
Hey, that's weird. So do I.
and you're thinking, how did I attract this? So we're a good match in many ways, but that's one area where it's like he feels, yeah, okay, whatever you do, your thing, but he doesn't embrace it. And I know that's true for a lot of people, many, many, many people. So it's developing that sort of stamina too, to hang on to your own thoughts and beliefs and not get swayed. And another really key part of that is turn off the news. Like I always tell people, like, why are you watching the news? It's created to upset you. And, like, look at all the many countries that aren't at war. Look at all there is good. There's so much more good happening in this world because it is, well-being. It's getting better and better and better. But the news focuses on what's not working, and, like it just drills it into you. So if you're sitting there soaking that up, guess what you're going to be radiating out? So it's stuff like that. You can avoid that easily. You can stop reading the newspaper. You can put away the gossip magazines. You can watch a comedy or something instead of the news. And those things are going to really help to create that shift. And this is coming from a former journalist for 20 years. I've read every newspaper going because I had to as part of the job. And now I don't read them at all. And I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
No, that's the beauty. When you stop doing it, you realize, oh my gosh, what was I? I'm not missing a darn thing, and
yeah.
It's so freeing. But so I want to give people a link to get this wishful thinking thing that we keep talking about, because really, it was one of the first steps that I took in creating the business that I had dreamed of, right?
Oh, that's so exciting.
It really was. It was like, it was one of the first tangible things that I had, like I said, I'd read a lot of Abraham Hicks, I'd done, but the wishful thinking, so I'm just going to give you, it's carrierolldon.com/wishful thinking. I'm going to say that again, carrierolldon.com/wishful thinking, and I will also put it in the comments in just a minute.
Oh, thank you.
But that's Alexandria's gift to you guys, and it is just for you watching the Carrie Rolled On show, because it is such a it's a practice, right? So many of you know I came to Hangouts by watching my friend Lisa Ingalls, who used to have a show called The Power of Practice, and I think that's what we're talking about, is tuning our vibration to a higher vibration, no matter how, wishful thinking is a great way to do that, right? Because gratitude, being grateful for, you'll see when you download Alexandria's gift, you'll see, but it's tuning yourself to higher and higher and higher, and I'm telling you, before you know it will feel like, oh, there's a little thing here and a little thing there, but where's my $1 million? But slowly you'll start to see, oh my gosh, I don't feel that way anymore. I have a different, and I'm not attracting those people anymore. And like slowly but surely the shift will happen.
It does. It really does. Yeah, absolutely. And the reason, and people, yes, you're hearing us say wishful thinking, not wishful thinking.
Yes.
And the reason for that is the whole book is about showing you and teaching you how to be grateful in advance for something. Like you're grateful now, you're feeling those feelings now, so that's why it's a little play on words that came about when I was having, I think it was Thanksgiving even, and I was looking forward to a big family reunion, and my son and his family, part of the family, his kids, were not going to be able to attend, and I was upset, but I was like, okay, but I was still writing in my feel good, my gratitude journal, and I was jotting it away, and I said what a fabulous weekend it had been, and how great it was to see everybody. And I didn't go, oh, my son can't come and his kids and blah, 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 I just stayed very positive. And then it was actually when I was creating, I'd written a book, but I didn't have a title, Wishful Thinking. And then my son, lo and behold, showed up with his family, and we were talking about it, and I was saying, I showed him my gratitude journal. He said, well, what do you mean you were grateful for it when you didn't think it was happening? What's that all about? And I said, well, it's kind of like wishful thinking. It's in advance, it's wishful thinking. And as soon as I said it to him, I heard, yep, that's the title. And so that's a funny way. And this particular book, this gift, is also infused with videos. So you can, read about it and then watch it when I talk about affirmations and I talk about how to meditate and how to create a vision board, all those things. You can just click on and watch it thanks to the magic of technology. So, yeah, so please do download it and let me know what you think.
Yeah, it is really great. And you guys, I can't believe it. This always happens. It's 11 o'clock. We're like completely out of time already. It goes so quick, and I do want to be respectful of everybody's time. But as you can see, this is a conversation totally worth having. That's why we're having it on the Carrie Roldan Show. And it's just about this. Listen, I know there are lots of people who are listening to this and going, positive thinking, what a load of crap, or I tried that for a week and nothing changed, or or I have 10 positive thoughts a day. And I think at least my message is about this, is that I know now for certain, like I used to be kind of a dabbler, but I know that when I do energy work, right, whether I've never done Reiki, so I'm kind of like excited and curious, but whether it's energy work, whether it's Reiki work, right, healing something entirely different, whether it's I do amazing energy work with Cynthia, whether it's whether it's those intuitive drawings that I did with Rachel, like that was so powerful to me. But the thing is this, when I do that sort of woo-woo out there, airy-fairy energy stuff, positive things happen in my business every single time.
It's like magic. Like, try it. Don't take our word for it. Try it yourself. Download the book, follow what it says, and you'll see magic happening in your life. You just will. And especially if you'll start looking more for that than for what's not working, then it's gonna just multiply even quicker.
So just yesterday, this is so random, but I think this is meant to be, so I'm gonna say it for everyone, and then we'll close up here. Just yesterday, I did an interview with somebody who's actually been on the show before. Her name is Kathleen Hennessy, and I'll be sharing what she's creating in the near future. But she had an acronym for HOME, and it was, because she's a parenting expert, and it was healthy, open, motivated, and engaged. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is exactly what I want for my children. But the two that I circled, like just sort of intuitively, were open and engaged. And I feel like that's so what I want to be in my business, and what I think I want for everybody. I know that's what I want for my kids. That's who I want them to be. I want them to be open and engaged. And I think that's what Alexandria and I are asking you to be, right? For this week is download that book. It's Wishful Thinking, 7 Steps to Simple Abundance. And it is carrieroldan.com/wishful thinking, and be open and engaged and watch the miracles that come from that. So you guys, I'm going to close up shop just because I'm looking at time. It's 11:03, so I just want to thank you so much for being here. And here is a great big virtual hug from me. Thank you, Alexandria.
Oh, thank you so much, Carrie. It's always a treat to talk to you. And for people who have been following your chakras, we also get into that with the book. So it will tie right in with what you've been doing with Cynthia. So yeah, that's awesome. But thank you so much, and thank you to all Carrie's listeners. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. Have an awesome day. And namaste, which means the spirit in me salutes the spirit in you. That's the yoga teacher in me coming out. Namaste, everyone. Have an awesome day.
Oh, love it, you guys. So go out and appreciate the heck out of things, and mark your calendar for next Wednesday, because every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, we have an inspiring, uplifting, educational, just all around awesome show for you. So join me next Wednesday, and sadly, I can't even think about who my guest is, but you know by now, somebody rad, right? So join us next Wednesday, and we will see you then, guys. Talk to you later, business BFFs.
Bye, everyone.